likelihood that we would ever find out who those men are? And do they have any rights?
We may find out who they are if it comes time for testimony in court and that testimony is rendered admissible in a criminal case. You also have to remember that these men, the powerful men, have said that they have done nothing wrong, that all of this is false. So it may be that the defense in the criminal case next July, a year from now, will want to call these men to attempt to show that Virginia Roberts Giuffre is not telling the truth.
So here we have all this documentation. It's salacious, it's controversial. What do you see Ghislaine Maxwell's defense being with this information being released?
Ghislaine Maxwell can have only one defense if she goes to trial. And it must be that not only is Ms. Giuffre lying, but that any other woman who comes forth and says that Ghislaine Maxwell participated in a sexual exploitation of these women when they were children, when they were teenagers, or that Ghislaine Maxwell groomed them and arranged their travel and enticed them, knowing what was going to happen with Jeffrey Epstein. She has to, that is Ghislaine Maxwell, has to try through the means of cross-examination and calling other witnesses to show that each and every one of the accusers who winds up in court testifying against her, that those people have to all be lying. It's very much, Anne-Marie, as what we saw in the Harvey Weinstein case, what we saw in the Bill Cosby case. It's one thing to have one accuser. It's another thing to have two, but it certainly becomes really difficult for a defendant if you have 3, 4, 5, or more. In this case, in the indictment, the superseding indictment that was filed against Ghislaine Maxwell, what we do have here are 3 women, minors 1, 2, and 3. But I wouldn't be surprised if the prosecution intends to call a whole host of other alleged victims who will accuse Ghislaine Maxwell of being a very active participant in this horrendous allegation, again, about a sexual trafficking empire that was not only run by Jeffrey Epstein, but was also run by Ghislaine Maxwell.